Hi everybody, welcome to the best film recap. Before we get to the video, if you're new here, subscribe and press the notification bell. Also like and share with the friends. The film begins in the room of an as of late gone too far lady. Her young little girl goes into her room and witnesses her mom's body laid among the wreck. In the current day, the little girl, Rose Cotter, Sosie Bacon, is a specialist, approaching her day at work. She manages a hyper patient named Carl, Jack Sochet. He persistently murmurs about individuals biting the dust, and that he will pass on. Rose endeavors to comfort him, however Carl go on with his episode. Rose then gets a meeting with a young lady, Laura Weaver, Caitlin Stacy. At the point when Rose meets her, Laura is bothered after a new episode where she saw her teacher cudgel himself to death. From that point forward, Laura professes to have been seeing a shrewd presence that appears as others. In the wake of getting some distance from Rose and thinking back, Laura starts overreacting and blowing a gasket. Rose calls for help, however she thinks back to find that Laura has gotten a messed up shard from a container and is currently blazing a disrupting smile. Laura slices her throat before help shows up, leaving Rose in shock. Rose addresses two investigators, one of whom is her ex Joel, Kyle Gallner, for subtleties on the occasion. She makes sense of what she saw and furthermore converses with her chief, Dr. Morgan Desai, Cal Penn. Afterward, Rose goes to her home that she imparts to her life partner Trevor, Jesse T. Usher, and their feline mustache. Rose and Trevor go to supper with Rose's sister Holly, Jillian Zinser, and her significant other Greg, Scratch Arapagla. However, Rose is so damaged from Laura's self-destruction that she rages at Holly when she chastens Rose about neglecting Holly's child Jackson's, Matthew Sheep, impending birthday. Rose endeavors to return to work and continue on. She gets a call from Holly, as the two of them apologize for the contention, and Holly asks Rose to essentially get Jackson a birthday present. While they talk, Rose peers through the window and seems to see what resembles Laura somewhere far off. At the point when Rose strolls via Carl's room, he is seen with an upsetting grin like Laura and starts to tell Rose you will pass on. She calls for help and Carl gets controlled by orderlies over and over. At the point when Rose goes to purchase a present for Jackson, she sees a ghost of Laura once more, actually smiling. At home, she can't track down Mustache and is frightened when the security caution goes off. She gets a call from the security organization, yet it ends up being a pernicious element that insults Rose. Over the course of the end of the week, Rose hits up Jackson's birthday celebration. At the point when the time has come to give out gifts, he takes Rose's, which should be a toy train. All things considered, Jackson opens the case and tracks down Mustache's body. Everybody blows a gasket, and Rose attempts to guarantee everybody that she didn't do this. However, she sees one of different mothers seem to have the element's malicious smile. Rose staggers in reverse and falls through a glass table, seriously harming her arms. Rose starts to do some exploring. She plays sound recorded from her meeting with Laura and hears what sounds like a weak breathing clamor. She likewise looks into Laura's teacher, Gabriel Munoz, Felix Melendez Jr., and tracks down his widow Victoria. She advises Rose that Gabriel had professed to have seen dreams of something tormenting him, only days after he saw another lady named Anna Powell end it all. At the point when Rose asserts that she is encountering what Gabriel did, Victoria believes that Rose is deriding her misfortune and she arranges her to leave. Rose visits Joel for help in her examination, regardless of his underlying hesitance. He looks into Anna Powell and finds that she kicked the bucket by gouging her eyes out. It is likewise detailed that Anna saw a man end it all as well, which is displayed in security film from a corner store where the man is seen with the unpleasant grin before he pierced himself before Anna. At the point when Rose gets back, she finds that Trevor has called Madeline to give a house call meeting since they are worried for Rose's psychological state. Rose rages at Trevor, saying that he is more worried about how she will make him look, prompting her stomping out and parting ways with him. Rose additionally goes to visit Holly trying to account for herself about the birthday, yet Holly won't excuse Rose and says that she is spiraling like their mom did. Rose fires back that Holly never endeavored to show up for their mom and that she needed to deal with her until the end. Rose returns to the vehicle and seems to see Holly stroll back to her, yet it is only the element tormenting her. Joel accompanies Rose to a jail where she meets the last one standing of the revile, Robert Talley, burglarize Morgan. He tells Rose that the element hooks itself onto individuals' injury and spreads itself to new casualties. Every one of the casualties saw a self-destruction. and they turned into the following casualties, so Robert killed somebody to keep the substance from killing him. At the point when Rose lets him know that she can't kill anybody, Robert goes nuts and thinks that Rose carried the substance with him, driving him to be controlled. Rose returns home and has a go at conversing with Madeline, seeing her at home voluntarily. This ends up being the substance in mask, since Madeline calls her for genuine minutes after the fact. The element, as Madeline, smiles at her and says Rose's opportunity is approaching. Dreading she must choose between limited options, Rose drives to her occupation with a blade. She goes into the structure and tracks down Carl's room, where she drives him into blowing a gasket. Morgan runs in and sees Rose wounding Carl over and again. He shouts and seems to remove his face. However, this is only a horrible that Rose had after she dropped in her vehicle. She drives away when Morgan sees her, alongside the blade in her vehicle. Rose calls Joel and lets him know that she needs to disengage herself to prevent the element from spreading to any other person. She drives dependent upon her life as a youngster home, where her mom kicked the bucket. At the point when it is dim, the substance seems to Rose as a tall, long-haired tremendous variant of her mom that is continuously grinning. Rose communicates her resentment toward her mom for how she acted because of her sickness and how she never got the assistance she really wanted. The substance follows and insults Rose until she sets it ablaze and runs out of the house as it consumes. She then goes to Joel's loft and claims that she at last disposed of it. Then, at that point, Joel tells her that she can never dispose of it. And he streaks a frightening grin. By and by, Rose was dreaming. She is still once again at the house. The element views as her and removes its face prior to extending Rose's jaw open and moving into her mouth. Joel appears and goes into the house, just to track down Rose splashing herself with lamp oil. She pivots, blazing her own dreadful grin, and she lights herself ablaze before a frightened Joel. Okay friend. That's all the recap of this movie. Thanks for watching.